The following video is based on an actual reported event. All names have been changed for privacy. Michael came to us from Dayton, Ohio with his terrifying encounter. He said he had always considered himself a logical thinker and didn't really believe in the paranormal. That is until the spring of 2005 when he had a run-in with what he later found out was called a Skinwalker. Prior to his retirement, he was a medical equipment sales representative, and traveling was a big part of his job. He said he remembers that night vividly. He was driving through Ballard, Utah around 9:30 p.m., and he noticed a hooded figure walking along the roadside. He remembers thinking to himself, what a strange outfit. Just a few moments later, his car began to malfunction in a bizarre sequence of events. Michael said first the engine sputtered, then the radio started changing channels on its own. The gauges on the dashboard flickered erratically and the wipers turned on by themselves. Finally, the steering wheel locked up, forcing him to stop in the middle of the road, thankful there were no cars behind him. With his flashers on, Michael reached for his phone to call for help. As he dialed the auto club, he glanced in the rearview mirror, expecting to see the pedestrian in the distance, but they were nowhere in sight. For a few minutes he waited for assistance, but not wanting to wait the 45 minutes quoted by the club representative, he tried the ignition. It actually started, so he started driving. He drove for less than 5 minutes and the car started acting up again. The steering wheel locked up and this time the engine died. Looking at the clock and seeing it was only 9:37 p.m., he muttered, "Oh man, I sure hope they don't take long." As he rummaged through his briefcase for a flashlight, he heard a strange, unsettling sound. It was a chant, faint but distinct, emanating from the darkness. His unease grew and he locked the doors. Looking up, he saw the hooded figure standing behind his car, illuminated by the moonlight. Panic surged through him, and he reached for his cell phone. Preparing to dial, he looked up and the figure was gone. He looked around and didn't see them anywhere. He kept watching for them to come back, but after a few minutes he began to feel a little relieved. However, Michael said that little bit of relief was short-lived. He saw movement in the darkness off the side of the road, but couldn't make out what it was. He looked up in the rearview mirror, still trying to figure out where the hooded figure could have gone. He dialed the auto club again, but now he didn't have service. He tried a couple more times and realized driving that short distance must have taken him into a dead service area. He said he looked up from his phone and there stood the scariest creature he had ever seen, standing at the corner of his car. The thing had fur all over its body, a grayish-color skin, and its red eyes were staring at him. He tried the phone again, still no service. The fur-covered figure, still staring Michael in the eyes, began walking around the front of his vehicle. Suddenly, lights came up over the hill in the distance. The creature put its arms up, obviously sensitive to the light. The closer the light came, the more it tried to get away, until finally running off into the darkness of night. The tow truck pulled up, verified he was the one needing assistance, then pulled over. He said he had never been so glad to see a complete stranger. The car now started without hesitation, and the driver couldn't find anything wrong with it. Back in Dayton, Ohio, his regular mechanic checked it out and couldn't find anything wrong with it. Michael said he decided to do some research about the area, and that's when he learned about skinwalkers. He read that skinwalkers are creatures from Navajo legend who have the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as animals. He never drove through Ballard again, opting for a longer route to avoid the town altogether. The memory of that night lingered, a reminder of the inexplicable and the unknown that lurked in the shadows. If you've had a paranormal experience, let us know in the comments. We would love to hear about it. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel, Dreamscape Horrors, as there's much more to come.